Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to our First Friday Forum. Today, our guest is Lieutenant Gary Ferreri of the Police Department, and he's got a lot of updates for us about what's going on in PD, but also especially about their real-time crime unit, which I've had the privilege to go see at the police department. It's really quite amazing what they can do for us. So I'm going to stop my sharing right now and I'll turn it over to Lieutenant Ferreri. Would you like to take it away?
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Again, my name is Gary. I'm one of the lieutenants here at the Delray Beach Police Department. I serve as the Special Investigations Commander. And what that means is I oversee several units within our police department. I oversee our criminal intelligence unit. I oversee our VIN unit, which is our undercover narcotics unit, two problem-oriented policing teams, which are two proactive teams that go out and deal with all sorts of problems, and a couple of the ancillary positions as well. But today I'm going to talk about our criminal intelligence unit. The criminal intelligence unit, it's comprised of staff, both sworn, meaning police officers, detectives, and civilian staff, our professional staff. And that staff, and they act as crime analysts. So that unit, they have a whole bunch of different functions. Our crime analysts, all day, every day, they're reviewing bulletins and all sorts of bolos, which is be on the lookout, all sorts of information that's occurring not only within our city, but locally, regionally, and nationally. And we're trying to always constantly predict what might happen in Delray Beach next. We'll look back at crime trends over the last couple of years and try to predict, if school's letting out, is there an uptick in burglaries? If there's some sort of national event going on, how might it, impact our city? Every day they create an intelligence report for me and the rest of the command. So we can look at it and figure out, all right, do we need to move staff in? Do we need to allocate staff into a different area? And whatnot. And that's just a small tidbit of what they do. Also in our criminal intelligence unit, we have detectives in there that they track known offenders, sexual predators, people that have sanctions, again, to be proactive and kind of stay on top of people that we know that are going to commit crimes. And that leads us to our real-time crime center. A couple of years ago, the police department, the city, and others had invested money into the police department, and we built what we call a real-time crime center. The real-time crime center is a centralized location within the Delray Beach Police Department where we monitor all sorts of stuff. And what I mean by that is we have a platform, a software program where we're able to see in real time where our police officers are on like a Google map. And it helps us to determine if a call for service comes in. Even though officers are typically assigned to zones, we can look at that map and see who's closest to that area. Sorry, let me just turn this off. Someone's calling me. But also on that map, we can see a lot of other things that are going on. We can see we have some cameras in public places. I'll talk about that in just a moment. We have license plate cameras, and I'll talk about that in a moment. All these different technologies come onto one platform. So one of the first investments that we made in technology a couple of years ago was license plate recognition cameras. License plate recognition cameras are cameras that, by design, they're placed in strategic locations, and they take pictures of license plates all day, all night, and they run it against national and state databases. And they're looking to see if that vehicle, that tag on the back of that car, does it have a status? Was it reported stolen? Is the driver or the registered person in that car or someone affiliated with that vehicle, were they reported missing and endangered? And then furthermore, we can also look at if we know a certain vehicle is being used by a certain group or by an individual to commit crimes, we can flag that vehicle in advance. Let's say we know that the West Palm Beach Police Department tells us this one particular car keeps showing up in their city and it's been used in daytime burglaries. And if we have that information, we can flag that vehicle. So when it passes one of our cameras, we know it's in our area. And it kind of gives us that upper edge to kind of bring resources to that area to try to prevent a crime from happening. We've been wildly successful with the few cameras that we had in the city. And as a result, with the support of the city commission and the city, we've been able to expand that camera project quite a bit. Then another project that we're working on is putting cameras, CCTV camera, in public places. With the help of the CRA and the DDA, we were able to secure funding to start putting cameras in our downtown area. So if you notice, or next time you go downtown, if you look on the north side of East Atlantic Avenue, between Swinton Avenue and the train tracks, you'll see a couple of cameras on the existing city light poles. You'll also see the cameras around the exterior of the Old Spruce Square parking garage and also attached to the amphitheater. Now, the reason for those cameras, obviously, I think every one of you know, we have a lot of major events that go on downtown. We bring tens of thousands and probably over 1 million people to our city every year for different special events, different gatherings, and just a normal Friday, Saturday night, even a Thursday night. We have a lot going on in our small town. These cameras are not being monitored 24/7. We're not looking at these cameras. But the time when we'll look at the cameras, or monitor them, if you would, is during a special event, or if we know something's likely to happen. But if something does happen, we're able to go back and use those cameras to help us investigate and solve crimes as well. So at this current time, we've been working on a project, we'll call it the phase 1 of the camera project downtown, where we were able to bore from city IT underground into around the Old School parking garage to the amphitheater, down East Atlantic Avenue. We were able to bring the city's fiber network and also our own electricity to these cameras to keep a really sustainable environment. We're hoping to be online with these cameras real soon. You see them up there, but they're not operational yet. I suspect they'll be operational next week or two. It's been a long time coming. And then, so that's those projects are projects that are either completed or almost completed. We were really fortunate last year. We worked with Mr. Orris from the city manager's office, Mr. Moore, the city commission, and other partners. And we worked with Congresswoman Frankel's office and wrote a request for a Senate appropriation bill requesting $1 million to put into critical technology infrastructure throughout the entire city. Last year, really effective October 1st of this past year, we were granted $963,000 in federal money to expand our reach of technology throughout the city. The goal with those funds is really to go out to the major thoroughfares, ingress, egress, into our city, Military, Congress, Federal Highway, Dixie, and other major areas where traffic is most prevalent, where people are coming in and out of our city to get cameras online. That money is sitting there, waiting to be spent. However, we're just working out a couple of things with the Department of Justice to get final approvals to move forward with that expenditure. So we're really excited about that. In addition to that, we got a couple of future projects we're working on in partnership, once again, with the CRA, the DDA, and the city of Delray Beach. The next phase of the camera project is going to be to go west on Atlantic Avenue between Swinton and Northwest 12th Avenue. As recently as this week, we had a meeting with the CRA, spoke to the DDA, and with the city IT department, kind of developing a plan as to where we want to put this critical infrastructure, because it really is a team effort, and possibly bring in fiber and other technology that we need into Pompey Park. So that's something that we're looking to hopefully get started in the next couple of months and get that project going. And then lastly, another related project that we're working on, it's really in the infancy stage, but we're really excited about it. So last year we were able to obtain that federal grant money, the $963,000. We did make a request through the state Senate last year for funds to be allocated for this type of project, but unfortunately we weren't awarded any funding. We just wrote a Senate appropriation bill request to the state of Florida through the city manager's office, asking for additional funding so we can start increasing security and hardening our border along A1A, the Atlantic Ocean, and also increase security in some of our parks and other areas where we see a lot of tourism and a lot of activity. Again, I know it's a lot of information, and there's a lot more that goes behind it, all the technology. I'm open to any question any of you guys would like to ask.
Oh, are you ready? Because I have some
Sure,
comments, and then we'll open it up to some questions. So first of all, if you don't know, Gary, I'm surprised that you don't, because he has been so instrumental working with all of the organizations within Delray Beach, including nonprofit organizations. He's so vital in this community. So thank you so much for everything you do for us. He's so dedicated. I'm excited about being able to support the appropriations request that you have that's going to go to the Florida state legislature. So I was talking to Jeff Forrest about that the other day, and that's something that the chamber will advocate for you on your behalf as well, to lend our voice to it, because we feel like it's super important. So we'll be in Tallahassee at the start of the legislative session, and that's one of the things on our list when we go visit all of the legislators that we see. So it's an incredible program. The one thing I wanted to ask you about that I don't know if people may or may not know about is the mobile unit that you have during the major special events that you've had for the past, I don't know, five or 6 years or so, that goes out to the July 4th event, to Delray Fair, and to the big events. It's an amazing piece of technology. Can you tell them about it?
Sure. So we have a mobile command center. I believe I want to say it's 42 feet long. Looks like a really big RV. It's a great piece of equipment. It's got some of the most state-of-the-art technology on it. And the technology I'm referring to is communications technology. So during special events, the same way your cell phones are affected during a special event are the same ways our cell phones are affected. Meaning that if we have 30, 40,000 people in one place, everyone trying to use their phone, communication can become very difficult. So on our mobile command center, not only does it act as a mobile office, where during a special event, we'll have representatives from every city department. We'll have Public Works, the Streets Department, Parks Department, the Fire Department, the Police Department, all sitting in one room. So if a police officer or a civilian or another city employee reports some sort of incident, we can fill that out instantly in that room and make sure that issue is attacked and dealt with immediately. In addition to that, in the back of the command center, we actually have a setup where our dispatchers, our normal dispatchers, and our phone center is upstairs in the police department. But it's a very small dispatch center in the back of the command center where they have the same computers, the same phones, and backup phones in the event our 911 lines go down, or also during a special event, not to overwhelm the men and women that work up in the dispatch center. We can make our own separate communication center inside that
Oh, shoot. Hi, can everyone hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes.
I don't know. I think that we just lost Gary, which is a concern.
Coming back.
Okay, good.
Technology, gotta love it.
I know we're having our challenges at the chamber today. I told most of you as we were getting on the call that all the phones and internet is down at the chamber today. It's been a nightmare working with it. So funny he's talking about technology, and then boom.
Oh. I lost you guys. Not sure what happened
He's
there.
back.
I know we were just laughing about it. I was like, wait, what happened?
I was like,
Gary, I'm glad you're there. Okay, go ahead.
yeah, so on the mobile command center, we have the ability, or we have a device that's able to put us on other cell phone networks, and we also have a Starlink satellite. So in the event that all cell phone networks go down, we can stay connected. We continue to get those 911 calls through actually a satellite. So the mobile command center, not only is it used for special events, it's also used during disaster recovery. If the building, something happens to the building, we have to evacuate the building. We're able to get we're able to get the men and women from the communication center into the mobile command center, and they continue to operate and take the 911 calls, non-emergency calls, and continue to dispatch with little interruption on how they regularly operate. So the mobile command center, another great piece of equipment. If you see it out there, that piece of equipment is about 6 years old. It is babied. It was almost $1 million, and it's treated like it was, it's still worth $1 million. It's washed and waxed regularly. We really take a lot of pride in making sure that thing's in top-notch condition.
It is. It's been so useful. I remember one Delray affair, we had a storm cell coming in on a Sunday afternoon. The entire, staff and FMG and all of the people associated with the event all went to the command center, fanned out, got everybody, went to every single vendor booth, had to get everybody packed up, and we got everybody off the street just as the storm stopped. But if we didn't have that unit right there in the middle of the event, it would have been hard to do that. So it's been incredibly invaluable for special events. I see Laura's on just popped up on the video. Did you have something that you wanted to ask Lieutenant Ferreri or chime in on special events?
No, I mean, I was just agreeing with you. No, it's been a great asset for our community. It's used in places you don't even, I mean, it's huge. It's not hard to miss, but it is hard to miss because it is effective. And, it's great considering everything that happens, around and we're seeing around the country and the globe, just to know that, our city team is working hard to stay up to speed and to keep us all safe. So thank you, Gary.
Thank you for saying that, because they were so ahead of the curve in terms of hardening any entryways into the streets. I mean, they were before anyone started doing that. Our city was doing that. People don't see all the behind the scenes things that the police department and many of our other city departments do to keep everybody safe during the many wonderful special events that we have. So I have to agree with Laura on that and say thank you. So does anyone have any questions for Gary?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Hi, Michelle Lutz from Karen Treatment Centers. Hi, Lieutenant Gary. Thanks for being
Michelle, how are you?
That was fun to hear about, like, all the, anti-crime measures, and it sounds like you're on the cutting edge. And I was wondering, just like as businesses in the local area and as really citizens, how can we help you and your team do your jobs? I know it's getting very crowded, particularly this time of year in Delray Beach and Palm Beach County in general. So I know that can complicate things, traffic, et cetera. So I'm open to any suggestions you have.
Absolutely. When it comes to these big projects and we're trying to seek federal or state funding, at some point we may reach out to the community for support if you want to write a letter in support of that project. We haven't reached out yet to the community because we're waiting for the project to get sponsored by a representative and to be given a formal name. But you also bring up a really good point that I kind of left behind, and this is really big. So our main platform that we operate with in the Real-Time Crime Center, it's called FUSUS, which is FUSUS. FUSUS. FUSUS is a platform that brings all sorts of technologies into one centralized location. Not only are we able to bring our own camera feeds onto this map and go to them directly, anyone that has a camera system that's hooked up to the internet, and we're really looking more at businesses, not residences, but you're able to link your cameras into our system through this device called the Core. So basically, for example, I'll use the synagogue for example, because they allow us to talk about it. The synagogue out in West Delray, they have approximately call it 50 cameras at their synagogue. They've given us access to about 20 of those cameras, more or less. So in the event that they call 911 or they have something going on and they need us there, as we're responding, we're able to actually get an eyeball into their synagogue and see what's going on. Following what happened, 2 years ago, in October, there were a lot of things that were going on with those types of establishments. We were getting constant reports of suspicious packages left outside the front door, suspicious people. So if we get that 911 call or that suspicious person call, we're actually able, while the officers are en route, we can go onto some of their cameras and see the front door of that business. And through the call, we have a very small memory where we can play back that video. That backpack that was left at the front door, was it a student from Atlantic High School or was it something more suspicious? So if there's a business in the area that has exterior cameras that may provide a window that may be of interest to the police department, it's another way of us leveraging technology without incurring that expense or adding to our platform. Again, we're not monitoring anyone's cameras. We can't make that any clearer. We don't sit in the room monitor the cameras. We don't have the staffing for it. That's not what we want to do. But we want to be able to have the ability to look at cameras if something's occurring, if we think something's going to occur, or after something occurs. That's the purpose of this program. And then the other part of FUSIS is a business or a residence. There's a registry program where we're really trying to build this up, and we're telling people, we've done a couple of public information pushes or outreach where you can register your cameras with us. Registering your cameras means nothing more than going onto our website and just putting your name, address, I have cameras, and then contact information. We have no way of seeing the cameras. We have no way of accessing the cameras. Then what happens is that location gets geographically plotted on our FUSIS map. And if a crime occurs in that area, we can draw a shape around that area and say, hey, a burglary occurred in your area between this time and this time. We have suspect info. We don't have suspect info. Can you please check your cameras? And if you find something that might be relevant, you click a link and you can send it back to us. It's just a quick way for us to do a neighborhood canvas without even leaving our desk. Now, that doesn't eliminate the need for us to do a neighborhood canvas. It's just another way of us informing residents or businesses as to what's going on, and just a quick way to communicate.
Well, thank you. That was very helpful. Appreciate that. That sounds exciting.
And I'll push something out to Stephanie on how you can integrate cameras and all that.
Okay, great. Thank you. We'll definitely share it with everyone who signed up today. And we're absolutely participating with you with our cameras outside the chamber. You've been to visit before.
Yes, sure I have.
Anybody else have any questions? This is a great opportunity.
You know, the other thing I just want to mention, without the CRA, the DDA, and obviously the city, but really the CRA, DDA have been great financial partners, but also supporting us. Without them, and especially without the financial support, we would not be able to get this program as far as it's gone. I mean, we've really gone from 0 to 100 so quickly. You know, there's a lot of projects in the works, and we're really coming in.
Someone here. That'd be great. Thank you.
You have an open mic.
Everyone, please mute your screens. Thank you. Sorry. Go ahead, Gary.
So I just really want to take an opportunity to thank the CRA and the DDA for their contribution, and so many other people. And then, you know, you said something else earlier, and it rings true, Stephanie. It is important, I think, for this community to know that whenever there's a special event, and even every day, the police department does not act in its own silo. We work with every city department hand in hand every day. If it's public works, streets, sanitation, departments that you wouldn't even think that we work with. We work in such great partnership and concert with so many of them, and then the chamber and DDA and so many other departments. So we're really proud of that. and we really appreciate those relationships.
I think we have a very special city and that we have that. And you're a big part of it in the police department. We love working with you.
Thank you,
So,
Stephanie.
anybody else, any questions for Gary? He's had a very busy morning, so I'm sure he probably needs to get going. Anything else, team? Okay. Thank you again, Gary. We love working with you and appreciate your time today.
Awesome. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So I'm going to turn it over to David, who's going to call on our partners to give their reports.
Thank you. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, Lieutenant Gary. It was great. You know, we have some really rough politics sometimes in this city, but once election season is over, we all come together as a community, and this community works together. Everybody, every agency and every department and organizations like the Chamber all support each other, and the city moves forward. So thank you, Gary. First, I'd like to call upon Laura Simon from the DDA, since she's already spoken. So let's hear from Laura.
Great. Thanks, David. Great to see everybody. Sorry, I've missed a lot of these meetings. It's unfortunate, but I'm glad I'm here, and I'm glad to listen to Gary's presentation. And it has been definitely something that's been a priority for the camera safety. Obviously, in our downtown has been a priority for us for many years. And working really hand in hand with our police and fire department and our clean and safe team in downtown. And it is actually still a focus for us, continues to be, especially in our nighttime economy. And, you know, we're seeing at the downtown organization, we're seeing, working with many new businesses that are coming in, restaurateurs, new development, changes coming online that, you know, bring new people to our city, bring new business, you know, mindsets to our city. So really just working closely with them to help guide and assist where we can and get to know them, share about our community and get them involved as soon as possible. And really working to help manage our nighttime and daytime from an operations standpoint. And that's, you know, we're going to have some workshops coming up here this month with the city and our restaurants to really look at our restaurant uses, the entertainment district, what's working, what's not, how do we come together to find some solutions. And, you know, as you said, David and Stephanie, you'd all know and been here long enough that we have never been successful by doing things in silos and creating things in City Hall that are not manageable from the public sector or private sector. So it's really about partnerships and collaboration. And that's what makes us special in Delray Beach. So we're really looking forward to this this month. At the end of the month, we have a very important meeting with the restaurants and the city staff, as well as also we're working with some local entities to really look at some development that's coming through in the future around the Swinton Atlantic Avenue project with the Kimberly Horn development that's there through the city Public Works Department. They are working on that plan and really looking for guidance and input from us, because that is a major corridor for us to connect our west and east down of the downtown. And it's super important to keep the downtown a place for people, not just cars. So that's a huge focus for us. We have a board meeting on Monday at noon at City Hall, and it is on live, our YouTube channel. It's live streamed, so you can also watch it. We've moved to City Hall, so now it's a little bit more accessible for people to, you know, be engaged more with the Downtown Development Authority. So we have several projects on the agenda. A new development on our new renovation of new business coming in on West Atlantic, which is great. Dunkin' Donuts has put it together. They're taking over the Bears Shack. So looking for them to get their plans approved so we can get some coffee and Dunkin' coffee in our downtown. So that is one of few. And we also have an LDR coming through around nicotine and nicotine shops, so really smoke shops. So that is actually on our agenda as well. So that is important, something we've been advocating for over the years. So looking forward to reviewing that And then we also have just a lot of fun activities. Tonight's First Friday Art Walk. We've got some fun exhibitions in the Cornell Art Museum, as well as we do have a concert, a tribute series concert at Elsco Square coming up on the 20th, along with a new art exhibition opening up next Saturday in the museum as well. So, and art and jazz at the end, celebrating Black history. So a lot of fun stuff in February, as well as a lot of good work. So happy to answer any questions, but thank you for allowing me to share.
Thank you, Laura. Any questions for Laura? Great things going on at DDA. Hearing no questions, let's move on to the next great partner, the CRA, represented today by Christine Tibbs, who gave us a great presentation, I guess it was last month. So what's new?
Hi, good morning, everyone. So just a couple of things going off of Laura's last item. The Arts Warehouse is also participating in First Friday this evening. We do have a new exhibition up, and it's going through April, but we hope that everyone can join us for the opening of it tonight. And we have our next CRA social March 6th at 5 p.m. at the Edmund Bain Building at 98 Northwest 5th Avenue, second floor at the CRA co-working space. We're inviting any local businesses that are out there that might be interested in potentially, opening up in one of our CRA spaces. So if you're out there, please join us on March 6th at 5 p.m. at 98 Northwest 5th Avenue, second floor at the CRA co-working space. And again, the co-working space is open every Tuesday right now. We are looking to open 5 days a week shortly. The RFQ for the container modular build out in Northwest 800 block is back out again. We tweaked the qualifications a little bit. So if you know of anybody that does modular construction or building that wants to check that out, its due date is March 18th at 4 p.m. And it just opened, and there's a pre-proposal meeting on February 12th at 10 a.m. at our CRA workspace at 98 Northwest 5th Avenue. And other than that, that's it from the CRA. Other than our monthly board meeting is happening at the end of this month, February 25th at 4 p.m.
Thank you, Christine. Any questions for all the work that CRA is doing? Okay, then let's go to the city and Kent Edwards. Kent, Earth Day is only 2 months away. What's going on?
Yes, we're in the beginning phases. Well, morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Good to see you all. We are in the beginning phases of Earth Month, and that actually is going to be the wrap up for our biggest project right now, which is the Climate Action Plan. And really a huge thank you in capital letters HUGE to Stephanie and to Laura and also to Christine. This week was very exciting, and the work groups for the Climate Action Plan, we had internal meetings to try to get input before we go back out to the public again. So we had a waste work group meeting, an hour and a half worth of really a deep dive on what are the things that we can do. So we talked a lot about special events, talked a lot about Recycle Right, working with SWA. Which communities can we reach out to more? How can we make cultural change within the city of Delray Beach so that people understand there are some small things that we can do? Why do we have containers in some places and why not in others? There are logistics, there are cost issues. So really great input that will guide the next step going out to the public, and ultimately in April talking to the commission. So big thank you there. And Christine and Grace participated in the Energy Delta Environment work group. And again, these are important issues for reducing greenhouse gases, and with their building management steps, they gave some great insight there. So how do we look at green buildings? Our green building ordinance right now only addresses new buildings. Our existing buildings are more than 70% of our electrical usage. So we really need to look at that, and for people to understand why the city is working on different areas. So again, appreciate the help. We are going to be putting together a summary of those in late February and March. We're going to set up a set of webinars for the community first Friday in March. And I need to confirm the venues for that, but want to have a first Friday art walk event where we start to roll this out also before Earth Month in April. And I think that's probably my time, but more to come.
Thank you, Kent. Any questions for Kent on sustainability, climate change, and what we're doing in our great little city? Let's move on to business. Jackie Ramirez, tell us what's going on in small business.
Good morning. Well, what I wanted to be able to share this morning is that we are sponsoring a webinar on Tuesday for the Main Street America program. I know a lot of you are very familiar with that program, but there may be individuals in other cities that you know, or amongst yourselves, that you really want to get an update. So there'll be an update on the funding, the technical assistance, how to receive statewide recognition, and really talking about preserving your history, which is what this program is all about. So I have a link that I'm going to send off to all of you to share, and it'll take you into the actual registration page that talks about it and also allows you to be part of that webinar. The rest of the team, we're preparing for March when we go up to what we call a day at the Capitol. We'll be going in the last week of March to meet with the representatives, to talk to them about what we do as a team, to remind them the importance of our team, and to really make connections so that we can help these representatives with their constituents as they go through the year. And that's what I have. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jackie. For those who haven't been around as long as some of us, Pineapple Grove was a Main Street organization. Mm-hmm. It became Main Street in, I believe, 1991, 1992. I was part of that for many, many years. And Pineapple Grove would not be what it is today without Main Street. We were belonging to both the state and federal organizations, and they provided a lot of guidance. We had to do a lot of work ourselves. We collaborated with the CRA, the city, and the DDA, and what you see today in Pineapple Grove is the result of that. So it's a great program. And our Stephanie was part of that program too. Yeah. So, kudos to her too.
That was my first job in Delray Beach, was the administer the Main Street program in Pineapple Grove.
You did good.
I'm hoping West Atlantic will pick it up next. I think that would be great.
That leaves also in the business realm, Michael Corbett, about jobs.
Thank you, David. And I'd like to echo what Laura said earlier. I have to work with every city in Palm Beach County, all 39, and Delray Beach has got it together. It's a pleasure to work with you folks on various projects and programs. A couple of weeks ago, we provided a press release on December's numbers, and our unemployment actually dropped from 3.6% in Palm Beach County to 3%. I think you're seeing the seasonal jobs kick in December and so forth around the holidays. The employment growth in our county is just phenomenal. Leisure and hospitality has been up 4,300 over the year, 97,200 jobs in that industry. Education and health services up 2,000 jobs year over year. That represents 120,300 jobs in our county. Government is up 2,000 jobs, almost 68,000 jobs in that industry. Construction is up almost 2,000 jobs to just about 47,000 jobs in that industry. Trade, transportation, and utilities up 900 jobs year over year. 131,600 jobs in that industry, big industry. Financial services dropped about 600 jobs to almost 50,000 jobs, so it was down slightly. Professional and business services down 1,700 jobs to 134,200. The average salary in Palm Beach County this year is $74,801. We're the second highest in the state of Florida. So that's a very good thing, and we continue to see that escalating. In the business growth, we had 23 successful relocation and expansion projects last year, resulting in the creation of 1,556 new jobs and $152 million in capital investments across the community. I still continue to see companies looking at our county. On Wednesday, Kelly had a luncheon. She introduced 4 new companies that just relocated here from outside of our state. So good things are continuing to happen in Palm Beach County. Great place to live, work, and play. So keep it up. Thank you.
Thank you, Martin. Stephanie, I think that's it. Is there anybody else we skipped over? Well, then it's up to you, Stephanie. Tell us what's going on in the chamber.
Okay, yes, sorry, I didn't unmute myself, rookie mistake. So yeah, we heard from all of our partners. So just quickly, our Galentine's lunch, we only have about 5 tickets left to that. It's going to be at the Seagate Golf Club on February 12th. It's going to be amazing. There'll be chef's demonstrations. The whole theme is where there's food, there's love. So it's going to be a great event. So get your ticket today. We're going to have to close it out by the end of the day. Our Contacts and Cocktails this month is on February 20th. It's going to be at the Delray Beach Historical Society. We're really excited about that. It's beautiful outdoor weather to have it at the Historical Society, and we'll get to learn something too. So that's going to be a really fun one. We have an annual Young Professionals meet our chamber VIPs, so they get to meet our Chairman's Club and board members, our Young Professional group, and that's on February 26th at the Standard. And then we'll have our quarterly Network Like a Pro free event for new members on February 28th at the Chamber. So I just wanted to run those things by you. Next month, we're going to have an extended presentation from Laura Simon about what's going on at the DDA in Old School Square. So we look forward to seeing you all. I think it's on March 7th, the first Friday of March, to hear much more in detail from Laura on what's going on in her department. So thanks everyone for joining us today. And thanks again to Lieutenant Gary Ferreri and for everything you do. Take care. Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.